Like, if you don't have like a good sex, if you're not satisfied in a bedroom, your stress level will increase. Let's think about this. Like, you are in a relationship, long term, it just started, and your night didn't went well. The first thing in the morning you will think about, was that me, or was that my partner? What actually was going on? What happened? Because sexual dissatisfaction, it's lead to chronic stress. We're thinking like, oh my god, I'm working too much, I didn't sleep well, my kids were not doing well at school, all these things. We're thinking like all that related to stress. But believe me, like, don't have a good intimate life,
Right.
it is your stress as well. Relationship, like, about like the sex, it's one of the top reasons when couples split up or getting divorced.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified. I am your host, Jax Crider, and we have got a returning guest, Miss Z, on the podcast today. So we are so happy to have her back. Definitely always some great and interesting conversation. And today we're maybe going to be a little more risque. We will see. So Z, introduce yourself, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, and let's get going.
Hey everyone, Jax, thank you so much having me. I'm life coach certified in NLP. It's neuro-linguistic programming. For those who doesn't know it, sexology and psychosomatic. Domestic violence survivor, a woman who rebuilt her life from scratch, being living in her car till where I am right now, rebuild my wealth. So I'm absolutely happy to share with you all my tips to this life, to the money, and how to enjoy your life. And I'm really, really excited about this conversation today, because today what we're going to discuss, it is something that most people are even shy to talk about this, because it's going to be sex and money, how those things are connected, and they are absolutely connected as I don't know, it's just like black and white. Like, nothing can be, anything can be, none of each can be good without other one. So if you don't have money, you won't enjoy sex. If you don't enjoy sex, you won't have money. So I'm really excited about this episode, because we're gonna talk really good shit.
All right, well, let's get going. So, yes, I definitely think that, first of all, I will say a lot of people do not associate a lot of things with money that are linked there, right? Whether it be
Right.
mindset, health. I mean, there's a lot of interlinks. And so a lot of people discount those things. And definitely sex and money is not necessarily one that people would probably naturally say, oh, yeah, those two things, they're so connected.
I know.
Yeah,
That's,
definitely
yeah,
can be.
that's why it's really important for us to talk about this today, because I want people to understand how deep this connection is. And just let's start. Like, increase, like, if you don't have like a good sex, if you're not satisfied in a bedroom, your stress level will increase. It's definitely, you will have like a problem with the decision making. You will make poor decision. Like, let's think about this. Like, you are in a relationship, long term, it just started, and your night didn't went well. What the first thing in the morning you will think about, was that me, or was that my partner? What actually was going on? What happened?
Right.
Because sexual dissatisfaction, it's lead to chronic stress. We're thinking like, oh my god, I'm working too much, I didn't sleep well, my kids were not doing well at school, all these things. We're thinking like all that related to stress. But believe me, like, don't have a good intimate life, it
Right.
is your stress as well.
For sure.
And relationship, like, about like the sex, it's one of the top reasons when couples split up or getting divorced.
Oh, for sure. Well, and money is one of the other big reasons, right? I mean,
Yep.
a lot of them go hand in hand in that respect. Well, and I think people discount that um money has a certain level of intimacy, right? Like, to really bear all and to talk about that and to share that, like, with somebody that you're with. Oh, just like it's really, I mean, and maybe some people have an easier time than others, like kind of bearing all, like, from a physical aspect, right? But that is also typically, right, if it's not just for the physical aspect only, if it's like for the intimacy aspect, it definitely is hard to, right? Like, you have to really kind of strip yourself down and allow somebody else to sort of see you bare, pun intended,
Yep.
you know, in more ways than one. And they're having to see that, they're having to view that. And that's not easy. And that's why a lot of times they're hard to accomplish, and why they can lead to dissatisfaction in a relationship and the ultimate termination of that
Yep,
relationship, right?
yep, absolutely. And money and sex connected. That's you just said. Like I said, the sex is the top, one of the top reason for people to break up. Money is there, but here's the logic. When you don't have much money, when you stress out about the covering the bills for yourself, for your kids, for the entire family, you are stressed. So
Yep.
here's money, the first thing, right? When you stress, you're not really feeling excited about having like a close, intimate moment with your partner. You're just
Right.
like, no, the money is really important because money helping us to cover our basic needs, and our brain, our like entire life based on what? On covering our basic needs. It's like
For
place to
sure.
stay, pay our bills, and make sure everyone is safe. If we have kids or pets, whatever you taking, whomever you're taking care of, right?
For sure.
And when you worry about money, you don't even care about like the sex, the quality of the sex. And most of
For
the
sure.
people, they think that sex is good when you just come. That's it. That's good.
Right.
But not everyone is thinking about the sex. The sex is not what's happening in the bedroom. Sex, what's happening in every single moment when you are next to your partner. Sex is happening in the moments where are you thinking about your life? Are you happy with your life? This part of like sex is most important because when I say when I'm saying word sex, everyone is like thinking about having this moment with a partner. But there's another side of this, sex with your life. How do you feel about yourself in this life? How you building your life? What kind of relationships you have with your life? What kind of relationships do you have with yourself? Do you appreciate yourself? Do you value yourself? Do you
Right.
adore yourself? Do you celebrate yourself? And this is crazy. If you're not happy with yourself, if I'm calling this like having sex with yourself, and I'm not talking about masturbation. It's having sex with your life. If you're not having a great relationships with your own life, when it's just you, no kids, no partner, no parents, no one, just you, how you expect to have enough money? How do you expect to have a great relationship with your partner? How you expect to have a great relationships at work? How? Because we are, most of the people, they underestimate the relationships with themselves. They, especially women, they put their own needs somewhere later, on later, like
Oh yeah.
maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month. But no, we, like, some people will say this is so selfish. This is not fucking selfish.
Right.
This is the core of happy relationships, because we, like, I'm a traditional women and men. If woman is not happy and not satisfied with her own life,
Right.
she won't be able to give a man partner happiness, support, understanding. She would need a validation from him. She would need a confirmation from him. She would
Right.
need a lot of different things from the partner. And unfortunately, they never taught us that, first of all, we need to build a great relationship with us. And it's not
For sure.
selfish. This is
No.
healthy. This is health. This is what you like. It's, as I said, I wish they will teach us at school to show us our own value.
But yeah, unfortunately, that is definitely not taught. Well, and I mean, I don't think in a lot of respects we're taught to value things in a way that resonates with us to our core. I mean, I talk a lot about, like, in Financial Instincts framework, how you have to, like, who cares what my opinion about money is, or even your opinion about money, like, right, like, as far as like how you utilize it, like what your goals are, like where you're
Right,
going with it, because the truth is it doesn't really matter, right? Like, I'm not in
right,
your life, I'm not paying your bills. And so yeah, there's like maybe another person, like a partner, right? Whether it be like life partner, roommate, like somebody that is interconnected, like with your financials. But other than that, you're allowed to decide like what that looks like for you. And
uh,
everyone has a variation of this, right?
yep,
No different than the level of intimacy and like how you want intimacy to look and frequency. Like, I constantly see women on the moms groups and like all these different things that I'm connected with, where they're asking other women, well, how often are you guys having sex? Or how do you handle, money? And I always come in and I'm like, it's going to depend on every single person on like where their level of satisfaction is going to be, right? And like there has to be conversations that have to be had between the partner and you about what that looks like, right? Like
Right.
frequency of sex, like how much money and like where do we want to spend the money? And so often like we're not having any of those conversations, or we're not bringing that to the forefront or to light, and then we're wondering why we don't succeed. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you had no understanding, right? Except for like how you grew up or what you saw,
Right. Mm-hmm.
evidenced for you by maybe your parents or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that it's all relative because
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a different opinion, right?
Yes, absolutely. And do you know why those people asking those questions? How much it's okay to pay for the rent, or how much it's okay to how many times it's okay to have like intimacy with your partner? And do you know why they asking those questions?
Well, they feel like they're doing it wrong.
No, I mean, yes, but mostly because they don't know what is okay and normal for them. They don't know themselves. Because
For
as
sure.
you said, absolutely, this normal term is individual. Like for each person, it's something its own. If I would say for me, that's fine, that's okay, this bare minimum to have sex 5 days a week. For someone, she would say like, or he would say like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Like
It's a
how
lot
you
or
can
it's
that
a
much
little or
time, right?
whatever.
Yeah, it's too much, it's too little, like everyone. And what is okay for you, it is normal, it is acceptable, but the truth is you need to know what is okay for you, and the
For
way
sure.
to know what is okay for you is to ask yourself and be honest. You don't need to talk about, first of all, you don't need to talk about this with your partner before you jump in a conversation
Oh yeah,
about money, about the sex. You need to have this conversation with yourself first,
for sure.
and ask all this question that you want to ask your partner yourself, and answer it. And you need to be absolutely honest, because no one is watching, no one is judging, no one is like listening to you, know, like be honest with yourself.
For
And
sure.
after that, you're gonna go to your partner and say like, hey, I don't feel like we're spending this much money, it's comfortable with me because X, Y, and Z. Or I
Right.
don't feel comfortable that you watching adult movies more often, that we have something in the bedroom, and here's why. Just, we are so afraid to talk about our needs because we so afraid to be rejected.
But we can succeed at anything, whether it be money, sex, both, all of the things, if we're not allowing ourselves to be honest about where we're at, what we want, how we need
Mm-hmm.
that to look. Like,
Right.
and so many people, I mean, I preach the one thing, the one soapbox that I will get on and that I will say over and over and over again is you have to be intentional and you have to like really have a good understanding, because if you don't, first of all, you're not exactly telling the universe, higher power, God, whatever it is you believe in,
Right.
where to put that intention, right? Like
Right.
you don't even have one. So you're
Right.
just kind of waffling around all over the place, hoping that you're going to succeed, and spoiler alert, you're not going to, not in an intentional and really validating way if you're not intentional and thought through, right? But then
Absolutely.
the other challenge with that is you have to actually, you're right, you have to sit and this is, it's super funny. I never really thought about how often, like how uncomfortable it is for people to do this, but like to sit in their own thoughts, like really to meditate on their own thoughts and like really decide like what they want. Because I think we're taught from the time we're a child that we need to have these expectations, and society puts so many things, right? Or your parents tell you, well, this is how you're supposed to believe about fill in the
Right.
blank, right?
Something. Yep. Yep.
Whether
Yep.
it be like politics, religion, like whatever it is. And then you get out into the world, which is when you're an adult and you're like trying to figure it out for yourself, but you're asking like bigger, like broader questions. You're not asking like the little tiny questions of yourself. And
That's true.
it's hard like to sit there sometimes in your own mind, because I can't tell you how many times I've got on a phone call with a client, a friend, and I'm like, okay, well, so what is it that you want?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean you don't know? Well, I'm not really sure. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to get sure about whatever, because I can't help you effectively without having a pretty solid foundation of like what it is you're, what path you're trying to walk
Yeah,
down.
absolutely. And it depends on parents as well, because we all came from our childhood, and some ways of raising your kid is not really healthy. And when the people grow up, sometimes we were raised in a way that our parents, adults, know better. Society knows better what is
Right.
for us. And that's why many people are so craving to be approved by the society.
Of course.
And it's so really bad and destroying the person,
Oh, for
because the person is like trying to be good for the society, fulfill the society's needs, but at the same time, this person is mentally killing itself, himself, herself,
Oh,
themselves.
I firmly agree with that. I mean, I arguably, like, from on paper, have been a fairly successful individual in almost all my endeavors. And I don't say that to like pat myself on the back, but like if you looked over the course of time, executing on tasks and things that I wanted, I'm fairly successful at them. But it really wasn't until last year when I had a coach give me permission to trust myself, to trust my wants, to trust how I wanted to go about things, that I was like, it really opened my eyes and really
Mm-hmm.
took blinders off. And I was like, yeah, I can do
Mm-hmm.
that. Like it's like, even though I always knew like subconsciously that I was really powerful in my own right, and that I had the ability to manifest things, to create abundance, to do all of those aspects.
Right.
I don't think until somebody gave me permission, because that is what we're looking for. We're
Ah,
looking for permission,
yeah.
for validation, for
Mm-hmm.
somebody to say it's okay to do it this way,
Right.
or
Yep.
to trust yourself or whatever. And it's kind of crazy,
It
right?
is. It's
Kind of a
absolutely.
crazy
It's
thought.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Imagine having the power to control your financial destiny, no matter where you start. Welcome to the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform, where financial education is tailored to your unique journey. We cover everything you need, from basic budgeting and saving strategies to advanced investing and retirement planning. Learn at your own pace with lessons that match your level of experience. Whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your financial knowledge, join our community of learners and benefit from shared insights and expert guidance. The Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform equips you with the skills and confidence to take charge of your financial future. Ready to master your finances? Enroll in our courses today at the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform. Start your path to financial independence now.
Hello, and welcome to PBJ Mortgage, where your home ownership dreams become reality. Today, we want to share why choosing PBJ Mortgage is the right choice for your home financing needs. At PBJ Mortgage, we're built on a foundation of values that drive us every day. Our commitment to educate, empathize, and empower our clients sets us apart in the mortgage industry. Our clients are at the heart of everything we do, and their success stories speak volumes. With years of experience, our team possesses in-depth knowledge of the mortgage programs, ensuring you receive expert guidance and the best possible rates. We offer a diverse range of loan options to suit your unique needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and more. No matter your situation, we've got a solution. At PBJ Mortgage, we pride ourselves on providing personalized service. Our dedicated loan officers are here to guide you every step of the way, making the process as smooth as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We understand that time is of the essence, which is why we've streamlined our processes for efficiency and convenience. Transparency and clear communication are paramount. You'll always know where you stand throughout your mortgage journey. Reach out to us today to set up a call to discover your options. If you're ready to make your home ownership dreams a reality, contact PBJ Mortgage today. Let us empower you during this exciting journey. Phone number 4-693-733-107 www.pbjteam.com. Visit our website or give us a call to get started. We look forward to helping you secure your future home. PBJ Mortgage, where home begins.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
It's exactly how we were raised. Like we were seeking permission from someone else to let us do what we want to do, to feel who we are, to know who we are, to feel what we want to feel. And this permission, when someone even, this is the really hard thing, when someone, you just say like, hey, you have a permission, what do you want? And the person was like, what do you mean what I want? I need a great job, I need to have 2 kids, I need to stay in this company for 30 years, and I need to pay my mortgage in time and all these things. I was like, hold on. This is what like society told you. But what do
Right.
you want?
Yeah.
And
Is
there's
that
so
really what
many,
you want?
right. And when I'm asking my clients, like, what do you want? Do you know how many out of 10 people will ask me, like, what do you mean what I want? I just told you what I want. I was like, yes, this is the right thing to say, but what do you exactly want? And people just getting lost. Like, what is the what type of question are you asking me? Like, what is that? Like, what do you mean? I just told you what I want. I was like, deep down, like, what do you want? And when we go in, like deep down, like, yeah, sometimes I just want to, lock myself in the room and just sing my favorite songs all day, or just, getting drunk, or I don't know, like just do whatever I want, like get a bubble bath, or just eating an ice cream, like with the scoop from this jar, and or I just want to go to the trip by myself. And they just like, they afraid to say something that is not approved by society. And this
Right.
is the most scariest thing.
Yeah, it's super crazy. And it is where like sex and money are very intricately linked because of the intimacy factor of like and there's an intimacy factor, you're right. It's not necessarily like sex in the traditional way, but there is an intimacy of even really knowing yourself and like really sitting
Yeah.
in your own thoughts and asking yourself hard questions. And everybody should have a practice of like just spending 10 or 15 minutes a day where they really think about where they're going, what they want or whatever. How are they aligning, themselves to those things? How are they changing their vibration in a way that is going to bring them what they want?
This is true.
Because
And these questions that you ask, that you just said, you should ask yourself. It's really hard questions for
Mhm.
those people who never like even had a thought that they just like, oh, am I allowed to ask myself what I want? And here, I'm sorry if I cut you off,
You're
because
fine.
this is so like I'm so passionate and excited about this. And there is a like small practice, like a ritual you can do if you feel really uncomfortable to answering those questions, like, hey, what do you want? You just set up an alarm for, start with every 2 hours. When you sit in an office, you're doing whatever you're doing, every 2 hours set up an alarm and ask yourself what I want right now on a physical level. So for example, if I'm sitting crossing my legs, right, and I was like, I'm having these alarms, like, okay, ZY, what do you want right now? I think I want a glass of water. Okay, get up and go get that glass of water. And in this case, you will train your mind to give you an answer. What do you want? And when you will like start doing all this, like every 2 hours, then every hour, this is the simplest thing, like, do I want to like cross my legs this way, or do I want like, a scratch it somewhere here, or do I want like, I don't know, stand up and like walk away from like, this is will show you again, I will repeat it, will show your brain that answering those questions and getting the result, it's real. We train in our brain, because most of the times people letting their brain to control them. But the truth is that we are controlling our brain, our emotions, and our feelings. It's
Oh, yes.
us who are a captain of this life. And a lot of
Mhm.
people, they just under this great influence of again, this crazy society, they will tell you what to do and will not let you think about your own feelings. This little thing, every 2 hours, just ask yourself, what do you want? And unfortunately, this is true. Around like 60% of people who want to go use the restroom, and they're just sitting down doing their job, they won't do this until the last moment.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
this is the basic need, like a lot, like so many people who would just sit in there waiting until like it will come out their eye from their eyes, and won't do this. And this is the
Yep.
basic. And we're talking about, and you saying like how you want to reflect, like how I want to change my life. Where like people sometimes don't go like to use the restroom when they want it. So you need to start little, because our brain will say like, oh, whoa, 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 no, no, no changes. What the heck are you doing? I'm not going there. Like, no, it's too scary, because all the new and unknown, it's really scary. But
For
again,
sure.
as I said, start little. You will train your brain to see like, hey, there was something new. Okay, that's great. But if it's really bad, what you can do for yourself, think about your past. Like, for example, what was the thing that I was so scared to do in the past that led me to a success now? Like, for
Right.
example, the first your first drive, when you were learning how to drive the car, was you scared? Or you was like, oh my god, yeah, I know how to do this. Like, okay, mom, get in. I'm gonna deliver you where you want. Like, coffee. Do you want what? Let's go. You
Right.
was so scared. You were just like, oh my god, what I'm doing here? Like, what is those pedals are? What is going on? So you were
Yep.
so scary about your first ride. But now look at you. Now you like drinking a coffee, smoking, I don't know, like talking on the phone and like driving with like one pinky, you know? And it's been years. You just like, and it the same like riding a bicycle or whatever you've been scared about to do for the first time, even your first job. You were like, it was like going there. I was like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? Like, why? Like,
No, yeah, I
what
know.
is that? And
I was
now
gonna
look at
say,
you, right?
people just, they don't realize like there's so much power within you that you don't even
Oh
understand,
yeah.
but you have to really be able to tap into it. And it's gonna help you with everything. So, sex, like it doesn't matter. But the key to honestly being able to tap into that power is self-awareness. And that does require a certain level of intimacy, no different than money
Yep.
and sex. That's why
Yep.
that people don't like to talk about them, right? The deeper they go, like religion, politics, think about all the things that are faux pas to talk about, right? That we're not supposed to, as a society, talk about. Well, why are they like that? Well, that's because they're super integral to
Mhm.
who you are, like as a person. They're super integral to how you will face up and deal with changes and all of those kinds of things. So if you're not forcing yourself into that level of self-awareness, you're never going to be as powerful and as successful as you have the ability to be, because it all already exists. It's not like, oh, well, I don't know, maybe you're powerful, Jax, and maybe Z is powerful, and you guys have that built within you, but I don't. That's not true.
Mhm.
Each and every single person has power beyond measure, right? Maybe it's not exactly the same kind of power I hold or exactly the same
Absolutely.
power Z holds. We all are a little different. That's perfectly fine. But so many people just so often do not understand and or realize that true ability to be successful financially or any other way is
Mhm.
truthfully just self-awareness and tapping into your own power and understanding yourself well enough to be able to drive your needs and wants in the proper direction. So it's not about
Absolutely.
what job you're at, it's not
Mhm.
about who your partner is or whatever, right? I mean, all those things can kind of either drag you down or pull you up one way or the
Yep.
other.
Yep. Absolutely.
It is a
And
power.
and talking about the intimacy, about not being satisfied in a bedroom, as a cope mechanism, it's just emotional spending. And then we ask you like how money and sex is connected. Like again, emotional spending, me being married to abusive husband. Do you know how many times per week I was somewhere in a TJ Maxx or whatever I was going, every single day. And when I was buying, I don't even remember what I was buying, because that was
Right.
my way to calm down myself, to say like, okay, you know what? That's fine. That's everything okay. And like, okay, yes, you didn't get satisfied in a bedroom, like you didn't have a nice sex. Okay, let's treat myself like something different. And then what? My credit card, I was like, what? Like what did I buy this month? And I'm going like, I'm not, and not everyone will go and like check what the heck I did, because you need to analyze what's going on. Most of the people, okay, like 5, 10 grand, like I don't know, a couple hundreds. Okay, I'm gonna just pay it.
Most of the
Okay, but what
reason
did you do?
most of the reason that people financially fail, and one of the things that I offer actually on our website, is a free budgeting tool. And the budgeting tool actually doesn't address your big budget items. So it's not like what's your house payment or your rent payment or whatever, what's your car payment. Like, it's none of that stuff, because all those things you typically budget for automatically, right? You have to pay these big ticket things, and so you set them aside or whatever. What usually kills you is your small things.
Yep.
And the budget tool is supposed to help you realize where you're spending this money, and then ultimately it's supposed to make you ask yourself questions like, why am I spending this money, right? Like, am I just doing it because it's convenience, because like you said, right, I'm doing it for like a dopamine hit because the sex wasn't good or the relationship isn't good. Maybe it's not even the intimacy there. Like, it could be that as well. But like, a lot of times, you're not in a great place, like with your partner, right? Like, you're fighting about something, whatever, right? And so you just want to have something that makes you feel good, right?
Right. Yep.
It's those $5, $10, $20, $30 trips, whatever they are, that then you turn around and you're like, holy crap, right? Like, I didn't even realize that I did that. And why am I not financially succeeding? Oh, okay, well, because I've basically nickel and dimed myself to death. And I tell people all the time, I am the number one abuser of that. I'm so bad, especially because it's super easy to justify in your brain.
Absolutely, especially
Like,
when it's like
$5.
$10-15. It's it's just $10. Hold on.
I can make back $5. It's no big deal, right? Like, whatever. But then when you string them together and it's $5, $10, you know what I mean? And I've been in a position financially before where money really wasn't even almost like a construct anymore. It was just kind of like it existed. And so spending money on whatever I wanted to spend money on was just no really big deal. And that's when you really start realizing that you definitely need to have yourself in check, because you know what I mean? Like, you need to have an understanding of like where your brain is going and like what you're trying to reach and all those things. Because when you don't, it's just like a free for all. You just, I mean, why lottery winners don't financially succeed. Why? Because they don't have any of the mental framework, the positioning in place to make sure that they can go and live successfully, find themselves in financial success. So oftentimes I feel like most things in life, truthfully, just boil down to self-awareness.
Yeah,
They
all
need
of
to
it.
just,
Not
yeah,
most,
you
all
just
of
need
it.
to like drill it down, and it's not easy. Like, I mean, I struggle with it myself. Like, there's some times
It's
I'm
not
literally like,
like,
what am
no,
I
hold on.
doing?
We're not talking about like it's really easy peasy. You should do this. Wake up tomorrow. Like, think ahead. Like, plan. Ask yourself all this question. No, I don't want people think that like I'm brilliant here. You're brilliant here, and that's why we're just saying, come on, people, put your shit together and just like wake up tomorrow, different person.
Sure.
No, you need to be prepared for this work. Like, this is
Right.
job need
It
to
is.
be
It's
done.
work. For sure.
But believe me, the outcome would be something that you didn't even expect. It would be something that you just like, what just happened?
Right.
Like, did I do that? And again, like, if we are gonna really like talk about my personal story, I was planning to get where I am right now, like maybe in 5-10 years, but I achieved that in 1 year. Was I shocked? I was. And I was validating my feelings. How do you feel? I feel so frustrated right now. I'm so mad. I'm just frustrated. Like, okay, you have all rights to feel like mad, upset, and frustrated, but for how long? For an hour. Okay,
Sure.
and this hour I'm gonna like hit the pillow. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. I'm screaming the pillow, cry like a baby, do whatever I need, and then just like come back to my path, come back to my goal. I promise you, I never ever was even like dreaming to get where I am in a year. I had a plan, 5-year plan, and now it's like, why? Because I was suffering. I was trying, like, to be honest, like, success is not about happiness. Success and great life, it's not like about bubble bath and all this, like, singing songs and all this. Success, it's about working hard and let yourself be yourself. Doesn't matter what people say.
Right.
If I would listen to someone, and you can say the same, if I would listen to someone who was saying that I'm not good enough, that my English is bad, that I cannot like even talk to the people because like no one will understand me because of my accent, I cannot have this job because I'm not good enough. Like, I had like bully husband, bully like couple of bosses who were telling me that I am just boo, and what I did, I was upset. Of course I was upset. Was I mad? Yes. Did that ruin my self-confidence? For a little bit. And then I just
For sure.
stand up and say, like, I know what I'm doing. I know my worth. I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of. That's why I'm trying to say to everyone that you can have all those people in your life who would say, like, you're not good enough, you're not really good in bed, you're not good, you're not making good money. You just need to say, thank you. I never asked you for your opinion, but since now on, goodbye.
I was gonna say,
With
you know
all
what
my
mom says
love.
about opinions?
Yeah,
They're
what?
like
What?
assholes. Everyone has one.
Yes, that's true. Like, especially,
'Cause it's
come on,
true.
if you will, I will come over and say, like, hey, Jax, I need your opinion on this. How do you think? You can be honest with me, right? But
For
if
sure.
you will come over, like, give me a call. It's like, you know what? Do you know what I'm thinking about this and that? I was like, why? Like, I don't even like, I don't need you. So we need to learn how to say fuck off to someone who is just trying. Oh, you're not doing right in your life. It's my life, and I do everything right because only I know how it's right and good for me. Doesn't matter, like, your opinion. If it's your mother, your father, your kid, or like your partner, if I never ask you for your opinion, nope, get out. Like, the front door is there, and we're not talking about this unless I will be,
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
get
not
it.
ready. I don't need it, and I'm learning my own lessons. If I will fail, I will learn much more from my failure if I will make my own decision.
Oh,
If
for
you would
sure.
say,
Well, it's just like raising children. When you raise children, I mean, there's so many times you see them about to step into it, and you try to say something and you try to warn them, but they're not going to hear it from you. So you have to kind of let
let
them
him
step
go.
into it a little bit, and they have to kind of figure it out. And it's not an easy thing to do. But I think, overall, like I said, I think the biggest thing that people should take away from this episode is, like, first of all, no one is perfect and no one is perfectly self-aware, but the more self-aware you can force yourself to be, the deeper you can go on the intimacy level, the more you're going to find that you really will be able to succeed. Thank you so much, Dee, for coming back and being in on another episode. I know that you have an offer you'd like to make the audience, so kind of let them know what you would like to offer them, and we will wrap up this episode of Financial Mastery Simplified.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I wish everyone who is listening to this, please have a great sex with your own life. This is really important. And as I often always, my beloved 5 morning rituals will be for you free. Just send me a podcast on my Instagram. And I have an extra gift. If it's your birthday, just send me let me know it's your birthday, that you listen to this podcast. What did you like, what you didn't like about what we were talking about here. And if it's your birthday, I'm gonna give you my online I'm gonna give you my video guide on how to celebrate your birthday solo, how to celebrate yourself. I
Nice.
just it's just came out on the market, but for our listeners, it's going to be for free.
I love that. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for coming back. And again, thanks so much to our listeners for watching another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified. I hope this was helpful, and we will see you back next week.
Bye.